Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason. As always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge. What's up, sir?
What up, dog?
Just another beautiful day in sunny Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Yes, sir. It's nice. Weather's getting nice.
We got another fighter spotlight coming on today.
Yes.
And Yvania Big Cat Foley. Some of you guys might recognize that last name. Yvania, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you taking the time to come out and chat with us about your fight. So you have a fight scheduled next weekend for Mountain Force, right?
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right.
Where do you train out of, Yvania?
So I'm training out of 3 different gyms right now in California. I train out of Millennia MMA in Rancho Cucamonga, and then also Strength and Honor MMA gym, also from Rancho Cucamonga, and then Warzone Boxing Club in Upland.
Okay.
Do you guys still have to train outside under tents in California, or do they let people in the gyms?
The gyms are open now, but for a little bit they were open, if you understand.
Yeah, I was out there.
They were open.
I was out there it was probably like last August, and we went and trained. We were in Northern California, and it was like under like a circus tent in a parking lot, and they had all their gym equipment out there, and it was just like normal.
There were a few times we practiced outside, but the sun on the mat, it was not possible. It would get so hot, you couldn't do it. So
yeah, that wouldn't be good at all.
Yvania, so how do you get lined up with fighting up here in Logan, Utah from California?
My coach from Strength and Honor, his name's Jeff Frater. He was messaging a couple people, and I believe he found the contact. Both him and my dad have been working really hard, just trying to find any kind of action possible outside of the States or outside of California, just because we're completely shut down right now. We're not having any events out here. So just any kind of promotion we've been hitting up, trying to find some action from. And Mountain Force decided to take me on to their card. That's where we're at now.
Nice.
So how do you feel after let's see, 15, you're about almost 18 months since your last fight?
Yeah.
So what are your feelings that a big long layoff? Because your first 2 fights were within 6 months of each other. What do you think about having like that 18-month layoff? Like, what do you expect from that?
I honestly don't expect any difference. I've been training nonstop. The training has been consistent, been working hard. To me, it just feels like an extra long fight camp. I've been focusing on tuning up and fine-tuning little things that I knew were holes in my game, and I'm hoping to see a lot of improvement this time competing. So I really am confident that my skills are going to be better than they were when I was competing actively when things were open.
So I'm just looking at it here. You have 2 first-round submissions. Is jiu-jitsu, is that your game?
That is my ground game, but I do feel confident with my striking. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. What do you know about your opponent? Because it looks like they're bringing in a girl. She's 2-0 as well. Do you know anything about her?
I know she's really strong. She's definitely talented. I believe she has a black belt in karate, so I want to say her focus is going to be striking. However, I've also learned, I believe she has a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, so I know she's going to be well-rounded all around, and it's going to be a wonderful challenge for myself, and I'm really looking forward to just going against her and seeing how we do together and how we flow together.
I like it.
That's awesome. I mean, 2 girls that you're both 2-0. Her last fight, I think this, to me, just optics of just not knowing too much about your other fights is just optics. It looks like it's a pretty good step up for you. Your first 2 fights ended in the first round, but your opponents were 0-1 and then 1-3, which those are good fights for somebody that's, their first 2 fights. So facing your first person with like a winning record, she probably has a little bit more confidence. So besides what you know about her on that, have you been able to watch any film on her or anything?
Yeah, we have been able to watch a little bit of film, studied it a little bit, or actually, no, that's not true. I've studied it a lot, but I'm not letting that affect me so much as to where I'm going to be so focused on, I know she did this in her last fight, so I'm going to be ready for it this time. Because I feel like if you do that, then you're on edge and you're not able to get comfortable in the actual flow of what's happening in the moment. So I'm more focused on what's just going to happen there and then there, not so much what happened in the past.
Well, I agree too, because I mean, it'll be over a year since her last fight too. So you feel like you probably evolved and gotten better as a fighter. I'm sure she has too, and probably added some new wrinkles.
Absolutely.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I guess these fighters that are taking it serious during this off time, during this COVID time, you're starting to see the guys that are really put in the work during that time versus the people that didn't put in the work.
Yeah.
So this card's kind of, I don't know if you know this card's kind of like getting some buzz and a big deal because Rose Namajunas' little brother's making his pro debut on this card.
I saw that. I was very excited to see that. I think that's going to be exciting. It'll be good for me personally, just because I know there will be a lot of eyes watching. There'll be a good chance to show what I'm made of.
Yeah, not just Rose's brother. Actually, it's her older brother. He's actually older, but Aspen Ladd's brother's on that card too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her brother's on her. I think he's the younger brother. But yeah, he's on the card too. So you got two potential UFC fighters that are going to be there.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That makes me excited. It'll be add a little more excitement to the already exciting event.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What has your training been like? I've always been curious because I train and I'm a fighter, but I just train at one gym pretty much. Like that, I have my gym. So how do you balance that with multiple gyms and coaches and stuff and keeping everybody on the same page?
Right now, I've been kind of training at one gym mainly in the morning and then the other gym at night. Altogether, the way that they train and the programs that they run, they work very well together, very seamlessly. And one gym, I think, focuses a lot more on just very solid foundational techniques, and then another gym is a lot more more realistic situations, live situations. So I get a bit of both. And then it's really nice and fascinating for me to have multiple coaches because I get different perspectives on sometimes the same technique, and both, it might be the same move, but they're taught differently. So I really get to choose what fits and works best for me as an individual and as an athlete that's, not built the same way as these other people that are doing the skill. So I know everybody kind of does things differently so that it works with their body and their game plan. For me, it's really helped shape me as a fighter to be able to see different perspectives and see what works best for me. And then I just started working with a boxing gym where it's all focused on just getting my hands as best as possible.
Nice.
I think that's awesome. So I think that speaks volumes about your coaches too, and that they're there for your best interest. Because me personally, I know some coaches, not at my gym even, but like just kind of around locally here in Utah. It's like if one coach tells you to do something one way and the other coach tells you to do the same thing but a different way, and you choose one coach's style over the other, you can get a little bit of go be with them then,
Right.
So I think that's really awesome that your coaches don't put you in that situation.
Absolutely not. They've always been very open to, as long as they see that I'm succeeding in what I'm doing isn't putting me in a dangerous situation, or I'm not failing at it, and I'm making openings for myself and it's working. They help make that better and make it stronger by adding. So they still add to it, but they're very good about not trying to completely change my game just because they think somebody else taught it to me.
I think that's awesome.
Love it.
Very blessed. I'm very blessed.
Yvania, what got you into fighting?
Well, I'll say that it started in high school when I first tried wrestling, but according to my dad, it's because he put me in Taekwondo when I was about 5 or 6 years old. Now, I don't really remember much from that.
Yeah.
I was 5. However, I'm sure it had a big impact in my early influence in life and kind of sparked that interest, even on a subconscious level, of always just being drawn to the sport. I know growing up, my family, we always watched UFC fights. And at my age, at that time, too, there wasn't any girls in the UFC. So for me, it was just kind of something that was like, oh, that's really cool. But it's just, it's for guys, it's for men. And then when Ronda Rousey fought and she made her debut, and I know there was still Strikeforce, women were still competing, but once they had that big platform that was UFC, and I
Yeah.
saw other women starting to do it, and I saw how it was growing progressively. All of a sudden, that it became something that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool too. Oh my gosh, I could do that. I could see myself doing that. And in high school, I always wanted to try wrestling. So when I got to my senior year, after I had a long volleyball career, so I was playing volleyball for about 7 years. After I was kind of burnt out and I was ready to move on to the next thing, I tried wrestling, and it was just love at first sight. Instantly loved it. And after wrestling, after having one really successful season as a senior, I was like, I just want to do everything and anything under this umbrella of martial arts. I want to do it, and I want to be.
Uh-oh. Did we lose her? Maybe somebody's calling her again.
Just
Damn.
hold tight for 1 sec.
It was going good there first.
Yeah,
it was rolling.
I don't know about you, and I don't know if her opponent's listening or whatever, but somebody with a strong wrestling background and grappling game against a karate-based person, that karate better be really good, or else this.
Well, and she's got
I like Yvania.
She's got two submission wins in her first 2 fights. I mean, how often do you see that?
Get them out quick and in the first round. Maybe you could see if she can leave and then hop back in.
I'm gonna text her right now.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's I'm so interested to hear where these girls are coming from, where these out-of-state fighters are coming from. I know for me personally, like, I mean, you know, I've gone out to Tooele and I've gone down and trained with Cole Schaefer and Nanat a couple times and give a couple different takes on things. And it is interesting, and it's always fun to learn from different people.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, but like, it's like at the other side end too, it's like, you know, Aldo's my coach. And like, I don't think I could like really like be like, yeah, I trained at this place, and this place. But I think that's really good too, that her coaches seem to work together and leave their egos out of it and are trying to let her do what she feels like is best for her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if they're working together like that, I don't think it would work as well if the coaches weren't on the same page, obviously, or you got one coach telling you one thing and another coach telling you another, then that's off. You're back.
Hey, there she is.
Can you hear us okay?
Hello. So I'm so sorry. My phone overheated.
Is it that hot in Cali?
It's about 81 degrees, but I'm in my car and the sun is coming right down on my phone, and I didn't realize because I didn't feel super hot, but it just like shut down. I was like, oh no, it's too hot. So I'm like blasting it with the AC right now. So sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient.
Oh no, it's all good. We can keep it rolling for a while. So Yvania, we'll wrap this up here in just a second, but what do you see? I mean, obviously you don't want to think too far ahead because you got this fight this next weekend. What do you foresee? Where do you foresee yourself going after this fight? You know, I'm assuming you're confident you're going to come out with a win. What's next for you?
The next is just more experience. I really just want to build up a good portfolio, have a lot of experience and a lot of fights in the amateur record to, you know, I really want to take time in my amateur career to make my mistakes so I can learn from them, grow from any mishaps I have here, anything, and be the best athlete I can before jumping into pro. But eventually I do want to move to being a pro athlete. But in the near future, just more amateur fights, traveling wherever I can. I might head down to Mexico City and fight for Fearless Women MMA. That's still in the works. We don't know if that's going to happen for sure.
That's awesome.
But we're working on stuff for absolutely.
Awesome.
Good for you.
Heck yeah. So I'm assuming you guys probably aren't going to be able to bring a fan base with you coming from California to Utah with all the COVID restrictions, or are they limiting the amount of people that you guys can bring? Or
well, I personally have a few family members and a friend heading up there that they're going to make the trip for me just to come out and support, possibly a couple coaches. Some people from California are definitely going to try making the trip. I haven't had any direct instructions saying that I can only limit it other than whatever the ticket sales are. And as long as there's tickets available, there are open seats. So
nice. Heck yeah. Good. Well, I look forward to watching you fight. I will be there. I don't think Zach's going to be at this one, but I will be there. Are there any sponsors that you want to give a shout out to before we get out of here?
Yes, absolutely. So for sure too. Right now, I want to shout out S&H Trucking Company and then IE Car Planet out here in California. They've been helping me out big time. They're putting money towards getting us some team T-shirts and making sure I'm looking sharp for the fight.
I love it.
Very
And
All
then
right,
shout
Yvania.
out to my family because honestly, they're my biggest sponsors.
Hey.
Without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So
Hey.
they're my sponsors.
Real quick. I just looked up your Instagram.
Oh no.
No, Tatiana Suarez follows you.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
You know her?
She's awesome. She's a sweetheart.
Do you know her and train with her or something?
Yeah, I have been. I've trained with her before. I've sparred with her. She gave me a beautiful black eye the first time I sparred with her.
That's what happens. That's what happens when I spar with Zack. He always beats me up and picks on me.
Whatever.
All right,
Dude,
Yvonne.
that's awesome.
We'll let you get out of here. Thanks again for joining us, and I look forward to watching you fight next weekend.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you guys. Thank you for giving me the time and platform to speak about my career, and I look forward to meeting you guys on Saturday.
Absolutely.
We will. All right, Yvonne. Take it easy.
Thank you so much.